Hello, bonjour, my name is David Revoy and I'm a French webcomic artist. Today I plugged my webcam because I wanted to show you 10 features that I really like in the recent release of Krita. It's two releases at the same time, 5.3 and 6.0. And if you wonder why two releases, it's just because Krita, without entering into technical detail, in a very big nutshell, is built on a framework named Qt. And when you build Krita with Qt5, you obtain Krita 5.3, and when you build it with version 6, you obtain Krita 6. Both versions have the same feature, it's just a framework thing. Not exactly, because for Linux user it will have a huge importance, because Krita 6 comes with something we have been waiting for years. It's a better support for the Wayland compositor with full color management and HDR support, and probably many more things. But I will not enter into this. If you want stability, just use 5.3. It's the version I will use on the demonstration. And because I'm recording this before the release, I'm actually recording this on a beta version. So that's all, let's start. Number 10 on my list is a color decoration for the color picker. And when you press Ctrl, or when you hold Ctrl, you have this ring. It's not really a feature of Krita 5.3, it came just before. And I think it doesn't got good coverage in the release. So for me, it's really a feature that looks like a feature of Krita 5.3, and I want to give a little tribute to it here in my 10th position. If you don't like the diameter, the size, or the thickness, everything is customizable. And I really like this about this color picker. You go to Setting, Configure Krita, and it's in the cursor category at the bottom, and here you have a little preview for the diameter or for the thickness. And if you don't like it at all, you can even revert it to what it was before. Rectangle left or rectangle right or rectangle above. Next item, number 9 on my list, is the possibility to plug Dockers in the pop-up palette. The pop-up palette is when you right-click, it's this widget here, or on the top toolbar, or any toolbar. So let's see how it works. I right-click on the canvas and I get this pop-up palette, and I extend here this little panel with some options. And you have on the top here some presets. You have layer by default. And if you activate it, you see that your layer will disappear here because you now have your layers here. If you want to plug anything in here, you go to this little Configure Docker panel on the top, and you can decide to have, yes, all the list of Dockers. For example, let's get the pattern. Okay. And now I have the pattern in my list, and I can select the pattern here. So it's a convenient shortcut. If you have a workflow where you select very often some pattern, for example, you right click and you have here all your pattern at just a right click. You can also do the same for plugging here a Docker inside the top toolbar. But for this, it's a little bit more complex. You got to go to Setting, Configure Toolbar, and then you need to select the good toolbar. This one on the top is named Brush and Stuff. And you need to search for a very specific item. I have it on my notes here. It's named the Docker box item. So I type Docker, and you have here the Docker box item. Now I can plug it on my top toolbar here. So I have here a vertical representation of the horizontal toolbar like this, and I will move it, for example, to be just just near the mirror option here and press apply. So I have this little button that is new now, and you know now how looks this widget. You can go and get the layer, but you can also plug all the Docker that you want. So this little feature is very convenient when you have a small screen, for example, when you are on mobile or anything, because you can customize the interface in a more advanced way. Number 8 on my list is the new bundle creator. And if you don't know, in Krita, if you want to share brushes, you have to put them inside a bundle and then you can share the bundle on internet. So we have now a new interface for creating bundle. You go to settings, manage resource, because this is a resource, and you create a bundle. And you have this new dialog here. So previously the dialog had a limited size and was a bit clunky to use. This one you can resize it to the size you want, and you have this interface with a guided step where you can just select the brush preset you want to share. You click on them and you got them inside the list, and then you got the next button. So it's very guided step by step. Then you choose the tag you want to share. You can also edit the name, description, author, etc., the information, and also the icon here, and finally the saving location and the save button. So it's very guided and it will help you to share your bundle. For creator like me who share a lot of brushes, this is very cool. Number 7 on my list is 2 new texturing options. And you can find them in the brush editor. So this is this icon here. And when you select the brush editor, you go to texture, pattern here already. And behind pattern, there is a tab here, options. And the 2 new texturing options are soft texturing here and auto invert for eraser. So the soft texturing, without it, when I press lightly, I have more texture, and when I press hard, I have almost full coverage of the digital ink. And with this selected, I have something a little bit inverted. I have a very soft, low pressure, without a lot of texture, and when I press hard I have more texture. And the second option, auto invert for eraser, it will be more visible on the canvas. So before, if you had a brush like this with a heavy texture and you wanted to erase, press E on the keyboard or this little icon to erase, you could have this effect. That's not really looking good or expected for erasing. Let me undo this and now select auto invert for eraser, because with this option you will get a better result. I will show you now. If I erase, it looks more like erasing with this texture. It looks better and more like natural and expected. Number 6 on my list, we have the new comic panel editing tool, or I like to call it the knife tool, just because it's a knife that slices every vector shape on vector layer. So let me demo it. At first I need to create a vector layer here in the layer stack, and new vector layer, and with the rectangular tool I will just draw a shape on it, and then I will get a vector shape. Then I can select this tool, the comic panel editing tool, and with it I can slice this shape as I want. So you quickly get an idea of how to use this. You can of course constrain also with the shift key to purely horizontal or purely vertical or 45 degree, and create a comic panel layout this way very quickly. In the tool option, you have an option on the top here to erase some panel. So you have just to cross them and it will erase the shape. As you see, depending, sometimes it works really well, sometimes it's a little bit more hazardous. And you have also in the tool option 3 presets that you can customize with thin gap, for example, really thin one, or special gap with very thick one. In number 5, we have the close gap feature for the fill tool. So in case you don't know, if we take the fill tool, it's the bucket, and we take a color and we had a shape like this one that was open before. If you click, it will propagate everywhere, and we don't want that. So we have now in tool option a new setting named close gap, and if you select it and put a large value, it will auto close the gap this way. So yeah, you understand how to use it already. If you color some comics or anything, it's very convenient. So the number 4 on my list, it's a set of improvement for the transform tool, and the transform tool is this tool on the toolbar here, and when you press it you have this deformation, but you have in the tool option is behind the advanced color selector, a little icon here for the liquify mode, and this mode received a huge performance boost. And before that you had to select an area and select a special mode to get something faster. I made a tutorial about it, and now it just works out of the box, even on a very large canvas. Here we have something larger than 3K pixel, and as you can see, I can deform things live on the canvas without any problem. And I tested that on a even very large canvas, and it works very well. That's a huge improvement for the performance. I love it. You also have now the possibility to select multiple layers, like here the little penguin and character, and here the little sword. You can press shift and click on both, or use the little checkbox here and apply a transformation directly on them. So for example, a free transformation, you see, and I can resize the both layers together. Before that, you had to group them. It wasn't that easy. And last, about transformation, there is now this possibility to rotate also the cage of transformation around an object. And you probably already met the issue when you had an object like this in diagonal and you want to enlarge it to make it thicker, for example, or longer. With this, it was a little bit complex, but now you can just press and hold on the keyboard both key Control and Alt together, and you will get this little new icon here on the cursor that indicate that you can rotate the box around the object. So now that the box is aligned with your object, you can make it like thicker or longer, or just easier to position the way you want. And number 3 on my list, and now we are starting to reach the podium. Number 3. Yes, I saw the Olympic Games recently, that's why I said that. You know that Krita has some smoothing possibility, stabilizer possibility for the brush tool. It's in the tool option here, and you have brush smoothing, and we have new options for the stabilizer. So in case you don't know the stabilizer, I made a video about it, but now we have a max speed and a minimum speed, and this is huge because before, when you had a lot of stabilization, before it was just one slider. You had just a distance option and you could use only this, and often when it was very too much stabilization for very small things. Here you see that I can't really draw little circle, and it's really convenient for long line. And with these two that you can dissociate with this icon here, you can now set a stabilization for when you don't go with a lot of speed, and a stabilization when you use a lot of speed. So yeah, I will try something very contrasted here, like 15 and 122. And now I can, have free movement for little object, no stabilization in a nutshell. And when I will do long line, for example, for doing hair, I will get some stabilization on them. You see, they are not, there is no jitter on it. It's so this is huge for drawing, especially if you are inking. That was a huge problem with the version before that in Krita, in my opinion, and this fixed so much things. About stabilization, there is also a new option for pixel artists, and if you select a pixel art brush like this one, let's zoom to see the pixels, and before we had a line, you can see that could get some little pack like this, you see it's a bit potato, and with this new stabilizer mode at the end, name it pixel, this one will give you like a perfect line without this type of big pack. So it's like creating a perfect pixel art line. Number 2 on my list is the color overlay mask. And the color overlay mask, if you are familiar with the comic workflow, you often have a sketch, you turn it to blue and you do the line art with this blue preview. Before, it was a bit complex to do that in Krita and not really optimized for keeping drawing with it. So now, when you have a sketch, you can right click, add, and go to color overlay mask. By default, it's blue, and you have a little icon here on the layer stack where you can change the color, the opacity, and everything. You can still change the opacity here, by the way. And it's really fast and optimized for drawing. You can, of course, draw even with any color, and it will keep the blue color. This is really when you want to lower the opacity, create a new layer on the top, and start the inking process on the top. Simple. And number 1 on my list, the star of this release is of course the text tool. And the text tool was totally rewritten. It took years of development, and it's great because before that we had a dialogue for entering text. It was a bit clunky, but it was great. It gave good service over the years, but this is totally on another level. I will try to demo 2 or 3 things so you can already use it, but it would deserve to be covered maybe a very, very long video. It has a lot of features. So at first we have the text tool here. If we click on the canvas, we have a placeholder text appearing, and you can immediately type what you want directly on the canvas, like Krita is great. And you can already interact with this text like this with, for example, pressing Ctrl B for getting a strong effect on Krita. Maybe this is not the best, maybe on great, it makes more sense. And if you want to customize, change the size, the font, you have to go to Tool Option and then Open Text Property. There is a custom Docker for that, and it's here. I will expand it like this, and this Docker has 3 tabs. One is for paragraph, it's for all your text block in a nutshell, and this one you can change, for example, the font for the full paragraph. Let's change the font size. But if you want to change just a character in this text block, you have to go to character, and then here you can change to something else. For example, this. And you might wonder, but there is not a lot of option here on this panel. But you can actually customize it for your needs. For example, here on the bottom of this Docker, I have a new list of what I want to always see for customizing my text, or all I want to always hide. For example, here what I like is letter spacing. I can set it to always show it, and I will get the letter spacing. So I want more letter spacing for Krita. You get the idea. So you can also plug a lot of things and make you a very advanced text property panel. Once you really like something, you also have the preset. So here, if I select a text, for example, this Krita with this letter spacing and this font, and I click the little plus, it will create a preset for this. And I can name it my title 1. And now when I will go to preset and click this to any text box, let's create another one. For example, this, I will keep the placeholder text. I'm taking the text option here. You see that when I select the text tool, the text property automatically appear. It's great in terms of ergonomic. And then I can click here on my title and it switched to the title and the font I decided with the letter spacing. And if you want to tweak the text even more, there is a new mode here in the tool option this time that is named typesetting mode. And if you click on it, you will get a lot of little control here. So I'm zooming in and there is here some more visual option to rotate the character one by one, for example. You can also move the character and you can really edit the full things the way you want. So thanks to this, as you can see, you can really make some very interesting title in just a couple of minutes. It's very visual, it's really designed for artists, and it really makes Krita enter into a new era of typographic excellence and one of the most advanced tools I ever saw for this. Krita also now supports flowered text box, so if you have the text tool and you create a box by dragging like a rectangular area, you can edit, and here I will just pass some lorem ipsum, and you see that it will be wrapping this box. If you have an existing vector object on a vector layer, like this speech bubble, for example, the text tool will change its icon, you can see, outside, inside, to propose you to flow the text inside this vector shape. It's very convenient. And if you click it, of course, I need to get some black color and I will pass my lorem ipsum and you will get the text inside the lorem ipsum. You can also select the edge of your vector shape and switch it to make some padding. And here you have some padding. So the text is not touching the edge of your speech bubble. On the same type of effect, we have also the classic text on path. And for that, we have to be on the vector layer and create a little path. So here, let's create a little beautiful curve like this. I'm selecting the text tool, some black color, and you see my cursor is changing here. It proposes the text on the path. So if I click, I will get this text box, and this text box is now in wrapped mode because that was like the text I had here. So in tool option here, I have to put into pre-positioned. So it's another mode. And with this, I can write, for example, kaboom, and make my my sound effect, for example. If you want to make the path to disappear after, just select it, and in the decoration, select invisible color, for example. And that's all. And that's how you get your text effect. A last really big feature for this text tool is the possibility to save text inside PSD format, so the Photoshop format, and also to load it. If you work with people using Photoshop, it's a gold feature with this new version. So that's all for this long video. I hope you learned something. I hope you like it to see this quick tour for the feature I prefer in this new version of Krita. Go to support the Krita team if you can. You know that the Krita team only runs their budget with your donations. They have a donate button on the top of their website a little coin each month, or it will help a lot the development team. If you can, of course. So check for more release notes. There is still a lot more feature that I haven't covered in this video. I will put the link in the description, and yeah, have fun with Krita and painting. See you later. Bye bye.